out. So today I will talk about Bootstrapping, a web3 game. My name is Yaroslav. I'm coming from Yard Hub, which is a web3 venture studio. Just a few words about what we do accept web3 games in case you're interested. So we have among our portfolio projects a non-custodial crypto wallet white label solution. We have a Learnify project. We have NFT-enabled car rental project, which launches this autumn in Dubai. So you'll be able to rent Teslas through NFTs. And we're also co-venturing in iGaming decentralized protocol with one of the European iGambling operators, this is now like a stealth mode, which will be released like later autumn this year. But today I'm going to talk about Web3 games. In our portfolio, we have got two of them. It works very strange, but let it be this. So kind of some dynamics for the slides.
I think I know how to fix it.
Yeah, it would be great. Thanks. So why?
Try now.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So why can we talk about launching Web3 games and bootstrapping Web3 games? We actually launched already two of them. The funny thing to compare is that one was launched during the fruitful autumn of 2021, which was a great time to launch. And the second one we've launched recently during maybe one of the worst periods to launch anything, which is like spring and summer 2023. And lucky enough, both experiences are quite good. The first one is being, like a lot of hype around. We didn't have a product at the time when we were launching. We only had, like beautiful art, very beautiful idea, some NFTs, obviously, and that's it. And actually, we invested around 50K during the process, and we raised 600K in around 25 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So everything was sold out, and the community was mad because a lot of people were not able to purchase, so the secondary market was booming. That was quite a stressful, yet very interesting experience. And yes, just to answer possible questions, we did use that money to build the product, to launch the product. The game is currently available. It's built on Wax blockchain, which actually was one of the most suffering blockchains during this crypto winter. A lot of users left it, a lot of projects rug pulled. So where we are right now, we are developing the support for many other blockchains, so that users will be able to come from Polygon, from OKX, from Ethereum. So the backbone will be still on Wax blockchain because it's a good network, zero fees, very fast. You can build a lot of stuff on chain. Our game is 100% on chain, which might be not the best decision. I'll be talking about that later. And the second game is Petabots. We're building a casual PvP gaming platform enabled by NFTs. So users are able to play different mini games, like every round takes up to 3 minutes. They play against each other. They can play either for free or use some bets against each other. The business model for the platform is actually taking commission. Oops, someone's lost. All right. So it's actually taking commission from each transaction. So we don't care who wins or who loses. We always take a small amount of that as our commission. And our big vision with this platform is that we later on release it as a white label solution as well, and we will be able to source it to other games, to gambling providers, whatever, and they will be able to launch their NFTs collections on top and let players compete in PvP instead of competing against the house. So the difference in this game is that it's built on Polygon. We're working on multi-chain support. You can see that we're partnering with Polygon. We have also partnered with Myria, which is a gaming blockchain, with KCC, OKX. So we're working with different networks, and that's an important part of bootstrapping a game, which we're going to talk a bit later. So, oops. Again, something doesn't work here. I'll do this way. Okay, so.
I think preview is not that. Maybe tap.
No, that's it. That's it. Okay. So the first very important thing, of course, is to plan in advance. That's a very important thing because it's easy to do a lot of things that you don't really need at the very beginning, and not to do things that you need later on. So it's very simple. It's maybe something which is true for any business, for any startup launch. But as we talk about games, let it be. So the roadmap for at least 2 years is very handy. For the next 6 months, it should be pretty much detailed. What it gives you the opportunity to share with the community, so to attract people who share your big vision that you describe in your 24-month or more roadmap. And at the same time, it allows you to align your current team around the current goal so that they do not get distracted by something. You know, we built something in 2 years, we don't know what, and they should definitely understand what they're doing in the upcoming month. Very important to think about the revenue model. How will the game generate money? Because a lot of the web3 games that we've seen and we continue seeing, they don't have the revenue model. So they think, okay, we sell NFTs, maybe we sell token, we raise money, and then what? Sooner or later, the money runs out. Whatever amount you raise, and the tendency is that the higher the amount the project raises, the higher the burn rate, and they run out of money pretty quickly. It's really funny how fast money can go if you have plenty of it. And if there is no revenue model, sooner or later, everything will go down. That's the problem that many projects face. They don't have sustainable economy, sustainable tokenomics. And that really is about tokenomics. So when designing the tokenomics around the game, if there are any token at all, because the game could be possibly built without a token, then I know some teams that deliberately skip introducing token for their project just because they don't understand how to sustainably integrate it, and they're responsible enough not to do this because they don't understand that. So tokenomics should both serve the interests of the game, so it should fuel the in-game economy, and at the same time, it should be attractive enough for some external people who are not into the project, because otherwise it cannot be, you know, like sustainable as some trading asset outside the game. It doesn't work, so I will do it this way. So, about building the game itself. Again, this is a painful experience from we've never built a game before. That's something I need to reveal. But I've always dreamed of. So, and I think this Web3 is a great opportunity for many new people to join this field. So, what we're doing with the game we're building right now, from the very beginning, we have onboarded a few veterans from classic gaming, both classic video gaming, classic Web2 gaming. So these people can help you create, to create the basic mechanics that keep people engaged, that keep players interested, that keep players, fed with dopamine to level high enough to come back and play. So it's very important to either hire someone to your team or have someone as an advisor. It's much easier right now than it was back in 2021 or 2018, when any veteran from classic gaming industry would frown upon any, what, blockchain, NFTs, no, this is scam, I don't like it. A lot of people from classic gaming have now actually embraced Web3, embraced NFT, and if you're legit, if you have an interesting project, they will gladly join you as an advisor or as a contractor that just consults you. So that's a very important part. Very important to also focus on UI and UX. So we have this experience with a fully on-chain game. For the player, it's a pain in the ass, really. So you need to approve any transaction. Even if this transaction is free, you still have that annoying pop-up that needs you to click once or twice, and maybe if you're secured enough, you also need to know, to input some kind of fingerprints or whatever. So do it create as simple interface as possible. So if you need to eliminate some blockchain part of it, do it. You can always implemented later for those people who are ready to mess up with that stuff. But the more important thing is to create UX UI as simple as possible. Building MVP as soon as you can is a must right now. So if it is possible, release anything. So depending on the gameplay, so our first game, DeepMind, is quite a complicated thing. We couldn't release anything like an MVP because we have like 5 game roles, they are interconnected, so they should sign contracts with each other. You cannot just release one role and show how it works. So we just were releasing art and lore and gitbook and things like that. With the game we're building right now, with the platform we're building right now, we started with one game. So one simple game is like 2 people facing each other. You choose some zones to defend, you choose a zone to attack. It's super simple, but people can understand. So what level of design do you have? How you work with the user experience? You can actually onboard them with all this NFT stuff. We have a community in Discord. People are playing. They go for gaming hours. So it works, and you can have feedback immediately. You don't need to wait like half a year or a year to develop something to receive feedback and iterate and do the next iteration better. And very important stuff is, of course, technical outlines and technical descriptions, technical tasks. So it's great to build everything on the fly. If you have an in-house team, you have like 10 people or 5 people all gathering in one room discussing stuff and building that. Maybe that's possible. If you have a distributed team, the only thing to make things work and deliver it in time is to have a technical description, technical plan, and like do all this classic development stuff like sprints, and all that. Going to early testing, that's the beauty of web3 games compared to classic video games, or even worse, like the board games. You develop something for half a year, for a year, for 2 years, and that's the first time when you really can get feedback from people. So you release the first version of the game, and then we know what happens, like usually a lot of backlash, a lot of negative feedback, and then people start releasing updates, releasing second version. In Web3, you can avoid a lot of things about that, so you can really test everything on the fly. You have the first version of design, you release it, you ask how they feel. You can share Figma with them, Figma prototypes with them, and let them click. You have a working product MVP. It could be, as immature, no higher expectations. You just have honest feedback from people who really care and want you to have a better product. And this feedback allows you tweaking the product on the fly. So then you can release new versions like every 2 weeks. We do it like sprint goes for 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks there is a new version with some slight improvements. And a little trick here is like, okay, you do a lot of stuff on the back end usually. The stuff that people don't see that makes it work faster, smoother, but don't forget with every sprint to include something that people feel. Okay, so it could be that annoying bug on the interface or something like that. It's something that is pretty small but annoying. Take this one off as well. So at least one should be noticeable and people like, okay, I feel this got better. Because you can, release 150 improvements on the back end and no one will notice that, but they will all notice that this bug with the interface is still there. So just keep that in mind. And engaging with the community from the very beginning is very important. So back in 2021, you can actually start your project with the community, having nothing else, and that would work fine. Right now, we probably won't be able to do that, but interacting with the community from the very beginning is very important. I don't know what's happening with the computer all the time. It's trying to go to sleep. The next thing that will probably help you bootstrap a game is business development. If you're a small team and you don't have a business developer like a separate unit, founders should probably do that themselves. That's the best person to do that. So reach out to whoever you can. Go to hackathons, go to online conferences, offline conferences, write people in LinkedIn, on Telegram, ask for intros, reach as many projects, blockchain ecosystems, VCs, gaming guilds, whatever, as possible. Tell them about their projects. You will definitely find someone at the end who's going to be interested. Maybe this blockchain was looking for this game in their ecosystem. Maybe some VC were looking for new portfolio project. Maybe it's just an angel investor who like, oh, okay, I want to try Gamify, why not? This is a good team, good guy, legit guy, let's give him money. I would not recommend using all those, like everyone should probably see on LinkedIn, okay, I have the list of 3,000 VCs that invest actively Gamify. Just like this post and put your email in the comments and I will list you. This is just a waste of time. I mean, if you're building the game from the scratch, no one knows you. If you're like first-time builder, first-time founder, no one knows you. I don't know VCs that, react to this cold outreach from someone on the email, so it's just a waste of time. Just better focus on something that can really bring results. Ask blockchain, I was actually amazed yesterday to understand how many Celo, projects built on Celo are here. I never heard of projects built on Celo before, and now I know there are at least 5, and they have all received grants from Celo, and there is no gaming project on Celo yet, so it's a good, maybe a good thing to go to them and offer them to join. Thank you. And given the current bear market, MVP is something you should have. If you want to talk with, if you want someone to talk to you, you should show something. Back in 2021, no one asked for anything. I mean, everyone was ready to give you money, to give you feature, to give you everything. Right now, you should bring something. You should bring a product, even if it's just, an alpha, or pre-alpha, or whatever. You show that you're capable of building things. You show that you're capable of delivering things, and that's the predisposition for someone even to start, talking to you. Cooperation and collaboration is crucial for anyone building the game in Web3. I'm a fan of non-competing right now in Web3 because the industry is so small. It is still, we hope it will grow like tenfold in the next few years, I don't know, 100x in the next decade. There is no way you want to compete for a piece of a small cookie that we have right now. So it's much more productive, from my opinion, and from many other fellow builders' opinion, to collaborate on making this cookie a big pie so that we can share it all. And we're doing a lot of collaborations with our current project, a dozen times more than we did with the previous one. So we're building on Polygon. Polygon gaming ecosystem is very friendly. So everyone is supporting everyone, hosting joint Twitter spaces, tournaments. So right now we're launching a tournament, the cross-community tournament with 25 different projects. You can imagine how big it is, and it's supported by Polygon and Magic Eden, which is a leading launchpad on an NFT marketplace on Polygon. And also a very important thing is use a founder, or your founder if you're part of the team, should be very active on social media. So the personal brand of a founder is a very important thing. It really creates that network, those connections that you need to find money, to find partnerships, to find investment, to find listings. So it's much easier to partner with someone if they, okay, I've seen your founder, I've seen your post on LinkedIn, I have your follower on Twitter. That really opens many doors. Never neglect that. One kind of a trick or a tip is something that a lot of projects do recently as a go-to-market strategy is a free mint. The market is oversaturated right now. I mean, every market on every chain is oversaturated. But by the way, this is our art, gaming art. This is our PFP, the Canna bot. So the market is oversaturated, and if you want to try and penetrate it, trying to sell something from the very beginning, so you don't have a project, you don't have user base, you don't have anything, actually, you're very, very, very early, trying to sell something on this market is probably like 99% guaranteed failure. So what many projects do, and our latest project, we're no exception, is the free mint. So what do you say? Okay, I'm giving some NFTs for free. There is a limited amount, it has some utility, so what it does is actually creates you the first user base and actually attracts the attention from the ecosystem. Because how it is usually done, you give whitelist spots to people from other projects for interacting with your socials, joining your Discord, like performing some activity in your chats, whatever, interacting with your content, and they win the places in the whitelist. And if you do everything right, so what we did is like our whitelist was oversubscribed like 10 times, tenfold, so only 1.5 thousand people were able to mint the free alpha pass, like more than 10,000 were ready to do that. So that creates some hype, and it creates some, it drives some attention to your project, which is crucial at the early stage. Very important for this first step of free mint to choose the right partner. So whatever network you're launching in, please choose the leading marketplace. It won't be easy to make them accept you, because with a lot of scams, a lot of rug pulls, leading launch pads are pretty selective. If you're not ready to get doxxed, that could be the problem in most cases. For example, on Polygon, Magic Eden is the leading marketplace. We launch on Magic Eden. We're actually in very close partnerships with them as a venture studio and as a project. And when you launch on a legit marketplace and they advertise you, they tweet about you, they put you on the main page, that helps a lot. That drives a lot of attention from the user, from the people, from the ecosystem. It makes you more legit in the eyes of other potential partners. So that's a very important thing to try to achieve. And when you decide that you're building on Polygon or any other network and you're launching on Magic Eden, don't be shy and ask them for support. They will never come to you and say, okay, do you want us to tweet about you? Or how about we create a Twitter space with you? Or do you want to have an M&A with your founder? They will never do that. You should reach to them and ask them. Eugene can tell me, you should probably ask like 15 times for them to follow you on Twitter. But when they do, okay, someone comes and sees your Twitter and says, okay, Magic Eden is subscribed, okay, Polygon is following, okay, Miri is following, okay, this project should be legit. So you should really spend effort and time on making them support you and help you with retweets, tweets, Twitter spaces, whatever. And they're eager to do that. They do that if you insist. A few words about community. I feel like as a founder and as a venture studio or CEO, I feel immense responsibility for the community. Because actually in this world, your community are actually the reason you are able to build anything. So they are your investors sometimes. So they, of course, it's like it's utility NFT for the game. But in fact, if they don't buy your NFTs, if they don't buy your token or whatever, you can't build. You don't have money for that. And actually, when you treat them like this, like naturally, not just pretending to treat them like, but when you treat them like that, with respect as the investors, as the key stakeholders, as people, you don't owe them, but you are responsible for them. That's really a good thing, and that's something that people feel. And when your project later on inevitably experiences some problems, some delayed release, some technical glitches, NFT price decline because of a shitty market, whatever, if you have been honest and respectful with the community, most of the people, like the key stakeholders, the biggest holders, will always support you. That's what we've experienced since 2021. I mean, like, okay, a lot of people do rant, but when you look at who rants and who supports, it's usually like the guy with 2 NFT, which is still, I mean, like, it's still valuable for the project, but they rant the most. And the biggest holders, if you're honest with them and they see that you really make effort and you try, they are super respectful and supportive, and they say, okay, the prices are down, I will buy more, and that works. So community is super important. I would pay a lot of attention to community. Some hands-on tips on building a good community. As I said, be very frank, be very transparent, be very direct. If you see that there are people who are genuinely interested in your product, they are supportive, they ask questions, they come every day, connect with them personally. If you have time, do it yourself. If you don't have time, get someone, your product manager, your community manager, whoever. Contact them in direct messages. Ask what they need, what they want, what they like, what they don't like. Ask for their feedback, because this way, you actually turn them into your long-term ambassadors. They will, they will destroy anyone on social media for you. If someone, says something wrong about you, these guys will come and that guy's dead. Twitter Spaces is a good thing right now. When you start, they're very small and no one's coming. Like you do a Twitter Spaces for 2 people, then it's 5 people, then it's 10 people, then suddenly it's 50 people, and then if you are good enough, you have like 500 on your Twitter Spaces. And other projects start inviting you to join their Twitter Spaces. Good projects want to come to your Twitter Spaces, and that starts working like a snowball. And like up to 10% of people who visit Twitter Spaces later on join your socials, your Twitter, your Discord, and then some percentage of them turns to your active gamers. If you're incorporating the strategy of free mint as a go-to-market strategy, make sure that your core community or your early community receive those NFTs, because many projects have made that mistake when they had, like the core community of 100 people who were there from the very beginning, who were supporting and they were appearing every day, and then suddenly there is hype about projects, thousands of people coming, and then those early supporters come for the mint day and say, oh, sorry, you didn't perform those 55 tasks that we required, so you get whitelisted. So sorry, you're not getting this free mint. This is something you want to avoid. Your early supporters should definitely get the most attention from you. That's super important. Collaboration manager is a must. These guys should be skillful. So what is a collab manager? This is a special dedicated person that contacts other projects and asks them for collaboration. Either you exchange whitelist spots or do some joint Twitter Spaces, whatever. So what collab manager tries to do is that some other project features you. They talk about you. And you get some whitelist spots or some perks for your audience from those projects. Quick tips to get your social to know a few thousand people. Launch Quest platforms, spend like up to $500. You will get 500, 600 people. Some of them will stay. Also ZillyQuest. Zilly is a platform where you can engage your audience to interact with your content, to do some tasks, some interaction in social media. You're not paying them with live money. You can either give them some experience points, which they later can convert to NFTs, or you can give them your future token, whatever. So it also can bring you a few more hundred people to join your community at this stage. So some numbers from Petabots. So this happened in March. As you probably remember, March was not the best month in crypto this year. One of the worst, as I remember, since 2016. So the project managed to get 40,000 people on Twitter and Discord with zero marketing spend, incorporating all the strategies I was talking before on the previous slide. So yeah, we did leverage the community from the beginning with our first project. So we had DeepMind community. We said, okay guys, join. This is a new project from our venture studio. This helped, but most of the people, I would say 95%, came through the strategies that I described on the previous slides. And the most important part here was that business development and collaborations. More than 300 collaborations with Solana and Polygon projects were done in like 2 months. And that's what's the results. So budget-wise, because like out of 100K spend that I described at the beginning, the business development, marketing, all this stuff, it only took, I don't know, like $5,000, something like that. So you pay the college manager, you pay the community managers, and you can do these things with, so you see like 200 to 10,000 profile views, tweet impressions. It's pretty crazy. So that's pretty much it. I was trying to be very concise, so I know everyone's going to wants to finish this day. If you have any questions, any practical, theoretical questions, I mean, we've been through launching Web3 game in a good year, in a bad year, so we don't actually care about it any longer. So we know this stuff, and quite sure we can thrive in any environment. Thank you for the attention, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you've got any. Looks like I've been pretty good with okay.
I have a question regarding the rewards, because most of the people after Axis Infinity wants to play something on chain to earn rewards. First, have you created any game that return any rewards to the players? And secondly, if yes, how you manage to not, how can I say it, to avoid the people to, break the rules and figure out a way to, cheat the system?
Thanks. So there are 2 points on this question. The first one is I'm a fan of being super clear from the very beginning. We always say we're building the game, which might bring you some profit if you are better than other players and if the market conditions are right. But this is first and foremost, this is a game. So if you purchase this NFT, this is because you want to play this game. This is because it's interesting. And yes, if there is a kind of token incorporated, then maybe you should. But I mean, like, if you're telling someone that if you play this game, you make money, you make profit, this is not sustainable. It's impossible in the current state of the market. It is impossible to build. I can tell it for sure. It is impossible to build a game with a sustainable economy if there is no external money generated. So there should be someone who puts new money into the economy so you can share it with the players. It could be kind of sponsorships, it could be like some kind of brands paying for attention. If that's there, that's possible. If you just like create token from nowhere and share it, sooner or later this all goes down. So it's the game like the last musical chair, right? The musical chair game. So the last one is, sorry. And the second part of the question was the... How do you pay the rewards? In, like...
Because translation, so a lot of, if you pay the rewards, somebody...
Okay, cheating.
Yeah, but you do things that you explain right now, so your focuses are different. So, hey, you play the game, you invite people to play the game because you like to play, not people.
But I do have a few words on that as well. So the first game we have is like it's on chain and it's about mining tokens. So it's actually digging token, getting it. So yeah, you will have bots there, obviously. So I don't believe in fighting bots technically. So trying to ban them or trying to understand whether this is a live person or it's a bot. Our philosophy in that direction is that you should design the game economy the way that you don't care if it's a bot or a live person. Even the bot, in our case, even the bot actually contributes to the economy. So if they do something in-game, they are creating value for other players who are live. And how you limit them from automation is that, for example, you introduce kind of stamina or energy or something like that. So let's say an average person would probably be able to play 8 hours a day. So like engage for 5 minutes every hour. So you design your stamina system the way that anyone who wants to do that more often, which is more probably a bot, they should purchase some, like energy refills or something like that, paying part of what they've extracted. So this way you can regulate that and actually efficiently not banning the bots, not fighting, because bots, like X Infinity and one of the most successful on-chain activity-wise game like Alien Worlds, TLM token, they are 99% botted. Everyone knows that, but it still works. It depends on how you design the economy. And for the Petabots game, so we built the platform, which is PvP, and how we work with this problem is that if you play without bets, if you play without a player, and you're not putting any wager, then you don't get experience. So there is no, if you create 1,000 bots and they like battle against each other all day round, you are not growing your character, you're not growing your NFT, you're not growing your profile. But if you wage some money, I don't know, it could be as little as 10 cents. It's 10 cents, it's super little. But it makes no sense if you're botting, because we as a platform take a small commission, so you can make 1 million transaction with 10 cents, we will make some money on that. So again, it's the economy design that makes this make no sense. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Really cool talk, actually resonated a lot with what we're doing, so, and some extra stuff, so thanks for that. I was wondering, kind of continuing with this conversation, I feel that it's a bit of a dilemma of, blockchain games attract or could attract a lot of, let's say, farmers or bots that pretty much they're not motivated by the game, but just to make money or to farm an airdrop. But at the same time, you actually want to have some people in the game to avoid this, how they call it, the empty world or empty room problem, where if it's 2 people in your metaverse, then it's boring as fuck, right? Nobody wants to go in there anymore. So I wonder kind of what's your take on it, and maybe to add a little bit of spice there. Maybe you've heard about this new ERC-6551 that's getting a bit hyped. That's account, what is it? Token bound accounts? No, it's basically an NFT can have an account. So what the approach of this is called Future Primitive. The guys who developed it basically says we want to have NPCs, and they call them network playable characters, to avoid this problem of the empty room. So even if it's kind of a bot, because it can have a wallet, then you can have some economic interactions and have ownership over assets for the bot and stuff like that. And that's supposed to solve this problem. I still don't see it 100%, but maybe you had some takes. I know it's a little bit of a broad question, but
No, it's very valid, and I can tell about a few approaches where thinking about and implementing some of them. So if it's possible and it doesn't it doesn't diminish the user experience, you can introduce bots like these NPCs. It depends on the type of the game. So for example, in our case, where you need to wage some money against other player in order to level up and to develop a character, it's not good for us to introduce bots, because we might know what the next move is and something like that. So it's the transparency problem, which I never mess with. So, But in some games, for example, in DeepMind, when you have, for example, we have like 4 roles right now, or five roles right now, and they need to interact. And sometimes you just don't have enough active players of one role to supply the contracts for other roles. In this case, I find it absolutely normal that you create a few characters from the projects that, again, do it in super transparent. So you say, okay, this is our account. It will act as this role in the game for some time until there is enough supply, demand. And it's this wallet. It will never sell the token that it gets. It will never do. We'll just burn it out. But right now it's just to keep the things rolling, and that's absolutely fine with the community. No one says, okay, oh, boss, or whatever. If that solves the problem of the empty rooms, as you say, I think that's perfectly fine. The only possible problem is when you do that not transparently, and then someone finds out, and then they could be, it's blockchain, and it could be found out sooner or later, and it could be a problem if you're not super transparent from the very beginning. I guess, and another solution which is more expensive, I would say, it costs money, is hiring players. So you can hire a player from Philippines for his, not $2 per hour, something like that, $2 per hour. So you say you can analyze the hottest gaming hours, like when people try to find an opponent and they cannot, for example, in PvP games. So what you do is like hire 2 players for like 5 hours. So 5 hours per day, it will be $20. You can invest that probably for some time. So whenever someone comes, he has a live player. That's that. This is a live guy in the Philippines sitting and playing your game for $2 per hour, and that's fine. So that's also a solution.
There is the other point. If someone is trying to watch your game, it means there is demand for it. Because to create a bot, it takes some money, it takes coding. To sustain bots, it takes resources. So if someone creating a bot, they believe that your token will have value. So I think it's a good thing when someone is trying to create something for your game, because it means they believe that your game will develop and it will sustain.
Yeah. So that's basically like three possible approaches to that.
Yeah, I like this. Like, we're going to continue the conversation a little bit. I think it's really interesting what you say of like having, kind of like like community or like company-run bots that like also earn money, and eventually you can actually decentralize these accounts, right? Like say the community, hey, now you have control over them. Like you can decide how it rolls. So like they decide to get.
Yeah, you can create a DAO and put all that money, like a token, into that DAO. You can really play with that. Yeah, I mean, the basic thing here is, again, being super transparent and explaining why you do that. So, like, always, whatever you do, if you have a